Thank you, sir. I hope I am audible. Sir, am I audible? मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर?
Yes, sir.
जी आ रही है.
We can.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is 21st century skills. These are the skills which we all need to know, not only know for ourselves, but we all are required to implement these skills in our schools, in our classrooms, so that our students are ready to face the challenge of their future. During course of my presentation, we shall be discussing about which all 21st century skills are there and what can be done in the schools to implement these skills. So friends, let's take how our world has changed. See, in course of time, our world has definitely changed, and changed to that extent that we cannot imagine. The kind of teaching we are having in our classroom, is that teaching sufficient for the children to face the challenge of the world, or something else is required of them? When I'm talking about how this world has changed, let us see few examples. You can see that now we hardly see such kind of telephones. We see ATMs, we see cards, credit cards, debit cards and other cards in our life. And some 20-30 years back, many of these things were not available or not accessible to us as teachers, as administrators. We used to see some of these things around us, but in elite class, very few people used to use these things. Like I remember, mobile phone in 1998 used to be of some 600 grams, and now you get mobile phone of say 100, 150 grams, 180 grams. It is accessible, and size of that mobile phone was not that convenient size which could have been used by everyone. There we were paying for incoming calls, outgoing calls, both. Roaming, non-roaming, everything was being paid, and it used to be very, very expensive affair. Let us use this chart as brainstorming tool to reflect upon the changes that have taken place during our lifetime. Communication, some say 20-30 years back and today. Careers, some 20-30 years back and today. Methods of purchase, again, some 20-30 years back and today. Same is education. Education which used to be, I'm not talking about 20-30 years, 3 years back and today. Or you can say pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, we were teaching children in the classroom. Now, we are teaching our students online, sitting at home. So, all these things have made some change in our life. So, I would request, write something about communication in the chat box. What it used to be some 20-30 years back and what it is today. What change have you seen as a person? Front call, great. Letters were used earlier, now we use mails and WhatsApp, and other postcards were used. Pager used to be there, Telegram used to be there. Now we have Telegram as app. Mails and WhatsApp, right? Envelope, and somebody has written pigeon. Yes, that was not 20-30 years back. That was some 100-200 years back. Okay, let's get back to careers. What all kinds of careers we had 30 years back and what it is in 2021. Mostly engineers and doctors. Women were not allowed to work. Communication is now easier. Limited opportunity was there, and people used to look for only clerical jobs, right? So all these things were there. I do understand. So lot of change is there, right? Now in medical sector also engineers are required. Okay, so I give you just one example. Life was simple, now life is complex. I do agree. Now, let's get back to methods of purchase. Earlier, we used to go to market and purchase items. Now we go to malls and purchase at one place. Earlier, for everything, different stores used to be there. Now, single store like Amazon or Flipkart is available. Okay. Online shopping, you get everything on a click. Everything is available to you. Okay, purchase has become easier, but along with that, certain cheating is also we face. But if we are alert on this, we can save ourselves. Online shopping is very, very convenient thing these days. By sitting at home, you get everything, almost everything, whatever you wish to buy. Now, let's talk about education. What it used to be 20-30 years back and what is required to be done in 2021. 20-30 years back, blackboards were used, okay, and the major focus used to be towards the content and assessment. These were the two things. Rote learning was there, chalkboard method, and now in 2021 or maybe for the past 10-15 years, we are using smartphone, okay, and latest we are using internet in the education, online education I'm talking about. So major change has taken place in last 30 years. So, but unfortunately, in the education sector, that kind of change is not seen in our school. On ground, that change is not visible. So, we as teachers need to do something in this direction. Why I have purposely taken up these examples? Because we need to understand that change is happening around us. When change is happening around us, why are we not changing ourselves? If we are not changing ourselves, do you think that we will be able to prepare children for future? No, we will not be able to prepare our children for future if we are not ready to change ourselves. Let's go further. Look at the scenario of entertainment. What entertainment used to be. This used to be the entertainment some 40, 50 years, 30 years back. And now entertainment is in your hand. Okay, you have mobile phones, you have other devices for entertainment and very small devices which you can carry in your pocket. Whereas earlier, the kind of device used to be a luxury for music, for listening to music. So now you can very well understand that how much change has taken place in our lifespan only. Look at communication. This used to be the telephone. Okay, trunk call used to be booked by people and then wait for hours together to get connected with others, and at that time also you were not very sure whether you will be able to speak to a person or not. And now you have Android phone, which one phone is equivalent to number of things. You don't require watch, you don't require torch, you don't require calculator, you don't require compass, you don't require many other things. Okay, you need not to remember the contact details, you can save addresses, you can save files, you can access emails, you can have number of calendars, cameras, voice calls, video calls. You think of it and you get in your mobile phone. And you can even record your voice, you can record videos and many more things. FM radio is available. You think of anything, it is there in one single device. So, what we need to understand is that rapid change has taken place in the field of communication. If we talk about jobs, I remember when I started my career, I used to print my question papers on cyclotype. Okay, then later we started using photostat. Okay, now you have automated Xerox machine, where in few minutes you can print hundreds and thousands of prints. So it all depends and it all has changed in last few years, some 20, 30 years. These changes have taken place. Now, people don't go to a printing press. They print everything in the office or at home. Okay, and continuous printing is there. I have seen that time also when printing used to be done through using single paper for printing manually. So, you can well imagine how simplified our life has become. Methods of payment. If you talk about some 100, 200 years back, then at that time, at various places, method of payment used to be exchange of things. Like, I want to buy a horse, so I will be exchanging with other animals. I want to buy, say, cats or cows, then I'll be exchanging with other things. So that used to be the method of payment. Now, you have currency notes, coins, cards, everything available to you. You can buy anything. Not only this, you can use through POS machines, you can use internet banking, and now the latest one is Bitcoin. So, number of things are available through which you can make payments or you can buy certain things. In education. We were using typewriter some 30-40 years back. Okay, and now we are using not typewriters. After typewriter, electronic typewriter came in picture, and then computer systems, huge computer systems were there, and now you have everything available in your mobile or on your laptop. So, vast change has taken place, but still our teaching methodology in the classroom has not changed much. That is what is affecting education sector. Though CBSE and Ministry of Education, NCERT, every agency has taken large number of initiatives, but unfortunately, we are not utilizing the same in our classroom. It is not happening in more than 8 to 10% of the schools. 80 to 90% schools are still using the methodology of teaching, which definitely is hampering the progress of our children. We are not preparing our children for their future. Our children are not becoming future-ready children. So that is what is the biggest lacuna, and we all need to plug that lacuna in our teaching. Now, look at this teacher. According to this teacher, learners are the same as they have always been, like we were also learners. Okay, and the same method that worked for me when I was a student will work for my students now. This is what is the thinking of majority of the teachers. My teacher taught me in this manner, so I will also be teaching my students in that manner. But unfortunately, the scenario has changed. And when I say that scenario has changed, so what does it mean? This statement is true in today's context or not? Not at all. Somebody has written, not at all. This statement is absolutely absurd in today's context. Many of you have written, no. I appreciate your response to this. Today's learners are different. This we also understand. Before they come to class, even a child of third standard or second standard, they search everything on Google and then come to class. For them, teacher is not the only source for giving information. So remember that today's child, they think and process information fundamentally differently from their predecessors. So they are not same as we used to be. So our methodology has to change. Today's learners are absolutely different as they process, they think and process information fundamentally differently from us. When I'm talking about predecessors, so I'm taking as us. Now, what were the main components of 20th century learning? I want answers from you. Please write in the chat box. What were the main components of 20th century learning? Somebody is writing books, information, internet, waiting for good answers. Updated knowledge, inclusive education, knowledge, Blackboard, chalkboard. Anyway, I'm coming to that. Framework of 20th century learning was based upon only two things: teaching of 4 subjects and assessment. There was nothing beyond this. See, as a teacher, we used to teach in the classroom and assess our children, test our children, which was definitely uh, around rote learning. Okay, we were promoting rote learning through this. Children, they were preparing themselves to write in the examination for good marks or good grades. That is what was the purpose. Unfortunately, this framework will not help our children now at this stage. So what will help them? Let us see. Before we see, what are the major elements of 21st century learning? If you are able to answer this, you get everything what is 21st century skills. Hands-on experience, research-based, learning videos, e-assessment and e-evaluation, mastery over subjects, audio-visual aids, extended activity, skill development, research-based, experiential learning. Wonderful. Today we have wonderful audience who are very active and responding to most of the questions correctly. Great. So let's go ahead. See, in 21st century skills, the new context is global competition, global cooperation, information growth, jobs and careers, growing service economy. And for global competition, skills required are global awareness, self-direction. For global cooperation, global awareness, collaboration, information and communication technology, that is ICT, literacy is required. Information growth, information literacy, critical thinking, problem solving is required. For jobs and careers, critical thinking and problem solving is required. Innovation and improvement is required. Flexibility and adaptability is required. And for growing service economy, communication skills, life and career awareness skills are required. Now please introspect. Are we working towards this in our classroom? And if at all working, how many of us are working in this direction? See, we are preparing only children who would be educated in the terms of that they have certificate, that they have cleared so-and-so class or so-and-so degree. But are they ready with these skills which are required to meet the challenge of 21st century skills? My answer to this is no. Because still we are focusing upon 20th century framework, both subjects and assessment. Whereas those core subjects would not be utilized more than 5 to 7% in their life. What helps the child to survive in this century are these skills. Now the time has gone that I was born in, say, Delhi, and I will be ending up in Delhi. No, it never happens. A child who is born even in a remote village may go and work in US or UK, depending upon his capabilities. So skill-based learning is required, which unfortunately is not happening in our classroom. And we as teachers are responsible for that. If a child doesn't know how to communicate, do you think that he will be able to get a job in which he has to communicate with his team members? He will never be able to get that. If a child is introvert, he doesn't know life and career awareness skills, then every he would be fighting with or having tussle with either his superiors or juniors. If you do not have innovative ideas, do you think that you will be able to survive in your job and your career? If you cannot think critically and you do not have skill of problem solving, which company, which organization will be continuing with you? I'm sure none. And without ICT literacy, surviving would be impossible now. I would not say difficult, because with difficulty many of us will survive. Many teachers who are working with 20, 30 years experience, they think now few years are left, so we will continue the way we are. I'm sorry, even if one day of your job is left, you should learn this technology not to teach the students of your class, but to survive in this world. Because tomorrow your grandchildren, your grandchildren will also tell you that you are outdated, you don't know anything. Grandpa, grandma, you don't know what it is. So knowing this is very, very important. Some 10 years back, when this communication was not very effective and keeping a cell phone used to be very difficult, and don't forget those days when we used to buy 1 GB data or 500 MB data for 300 rupees, 200 rupees or 400 rupees. Today, every mobile phone has that data. Smartphone I'm talking about. Android phone I'm talking about. So, basically, what has happened with this communication technology that we have become closer to the world. Okay, it's on our tip. If we wish to connect with our friend sitting in, say, US or UK, he is just a call away. And now the time has gone when we used to talk only. Now there is a facility of video calling. A person sitting in US or UK, we can not only see him, what he is doing and how he is leading his life, but we can talk to him also. Parents whose children are away, they are able to see their children very comfortably. So all these skills, all these things, the changes which have taken place in past few years have definitely changed our life. And remember one thing, today, whatever we are teaching in the classroom may not be utilized by the child. Basically, we need to prepare children for the problems or to face the problems which doesn't exist today. Those problems after 5 years, after 7 years, after 10 years, what will be the problems? We can just visualize, but we are not sure whether those problems would be there. Before 2019, nobody must have thought of this pandemic, which has made each one of us sit at home for months together. Now, second year is going on. We keep on locking and unlocking people every now and then, depending upon the situation of COVID at your place. So, let's move further. So, these were the skills required. Now, moving from 20th century classroom to 21st century workspace. Purposely, I have not written 21st century classroom. Now, the classroom is not only classroom, it is a workspace. From 20th century, from desks and chairs with a teacher in front of the room, books and materials, a print-rich environment used to be there in 20th century. Now, what is required? Desktop computers, parts of laptops, a media-rich, immediate, fast-engaging, dynamic and instant response environment. Earlier, educators as digital immigrants, like we used to use some parts of digital technology in our teaching. Taught before technology, we learned certain technology to teach to our students. We as educators did that. I never studied computer science in my life, but slowly I started using, and myself I have learned number of things, and every day I learn something new. When we talk about 21st century workspace, teachers are not teachers. They are facilitators. They are co-learners. We need to understand whatever we are teaching to the child, he has access of everything on a click. He'll go to Google, okay, or Google-like platform and find out whether his teacher is teaching correct or not. Now, the time has gone when you can befool your students. So teachers are supposed to be co-learners. When I'm saying co-learners, it means what? That we also learn something very new every day. Something from our students. Our job is not only to teach. We need to come down to that level where we also learn number of things. Students as digital natives, except at using digital media, are wired to use these. See, just recall, many of you must be having children at home. Have you ever taught them how to operate mobile phone or computer system? I'm sure never. In fact, they must be teaching you various things. Telling you, mom or papa, this can be done using this. I'm sharing something from my own experience. One of my students who stays in campus, 4th standard child, is telling, sir, whatever questions are there given in the examination which you conduct online, all answers are available on Google. And exact answers are available on Google. I said, how do you find that? So, they use various tools on the mobile, click the picture of that question and ask Google. And Google gives the correct answer. This is what our children have learned. But to counter this, we as teachers need to be smarter than our students. We should not give direct questions so that our children are getting answers directly without learning anything. They should first learn, and they can seek help from Google or any other. It is just like open book examination. There is no harm. In the process of finding answer, if they are learning something, that is also a learning. But unfortunately, when we set the question papers, we ask direct questions, as our teachers used to ask. Now the time has changed. Now our questions should be based upon research. Okay, where direct answers are not available, the child has to read and then only he can answer. This is what is the need of the hour. Now, coming to the framework of 21st century learning. In this, 4 subjects and 21st century themes are there. Life and career skills are there. Learning and innovation skills are there. Information, media and technology skills are required to be done. It is not only core subjects and assessment. You can see number of other things are required to be learned to survive in 21st century. Now, what are the core subjects? Let us discuss that. English, reading, language, art, word language. When I'm talking about word language, different language of various parts of the world. Okay, now for survival, you need to know many other foreign languages also if you are intending to grow. You sitting in Bihar can work for a US company, can work for Australian company, can work for Japanese company, can work for Chinese company. So unless you know their language, you will not be able to work with them. Right? So art, mathematics, economics, science, geography, history, about government and civics. when we say you need to know about government, to run any business, to run any organization, you need to know the government. You have to have civic sense. You should know the history, geography, science, and economics, because next 30 to 40 years are for economic growth. So unless our children are ready with that kind of basic knowledge or advanced knowledge in the subject, they will not be able to survive. So these are the four subjects where we all need to focus. There might be few more subjects which I have not covered, but basic or fundamental core subjects are these, which each and every child should know when he or she is studying in the school. Whereas 21st century themes suggest global awareness. Now the time has gone that I was born in Bihar, so I will be working in Bihar. Throughout the world, you can work anywhere. And unless you have global awareness, you cannot move out of that particular place. Financial know-how, how to deal financially with others, that is also one of the 21st century themes. Economics, business, entrepreneurial literacy, civic literacy, health literacy. So all these themes we need to work upon along with core subjects that will help us. See, if we are not keeping good health, we do not know anything about health, then do you think that we will be able to work, we will be able to earn, we will be able to make our life better? Never. So priority should be given to health also. We should have better civic sense, better civic literacy. So we need to learn that. It is not certain questions, certain texts which we need to learn and pass the exam. No. We need to have civic sense in true way. Okay. That will help us to grow better and live in 21st century in a better manner. Learning and innovation skills. Creativity and innovations are required. Critical thinking and problem solving skills are required. Communication and collaboration skills are also required. See, I had been mentioning in my presentation about communication skills. Another very important skill is collaboration skills. See, we cannot do everything at our own. So we need to collaborate with others. When we say that we need to collaborate with others, it means this is an art, this is a skill which we need to know. Everybody cannot collaborate with other person. So what we need to do? We need to learn this skill. Critical thinking, problem solving skills we have already discussed. Creativity, innovation skills also we have discussed. And when we talk about information, media and technology skills, then information literacy, media literacy, ICT literacy, information and communication technology literacy I'm talking about. So all these literacies, all these skills are required to be developed amongst our children. Unless we develop these skills amongst our children, they will not be ready to face the challenge of 21st century. Visual literacy is another very, very important literacy which we need to develop amongst our children. Life and career skills, where we need to develop the skills of flexibility and adaptability. When I'm saying flexibility and adaptability, if you are shifted from one job to another job, you should be flexible enough and adapt the environment which we have in the other job. If you do not, or if you are not flexible enough and you are not adaptable, then you will be in thick soup. You will be facing various issues and challenges. Initiative and self-direction. Now, look around you. There are people who never take any kind of initiative. They are not self-directed. When I'm saying self-directed, means they do not work at their own. At every step, they need directions from others. So in 21st century, the role of supervisors could not be there. You yourself are supposed to be your own supervisor. You need to take initiative. You need to be self-directed. Then only you will be able to survive. Social and cross-cultural skills are also very important. I being North Indian, if I go to South India, I should be able to adopt their culture. Okay. And I should be able to converse with them, I should be able to work with them, and I should be able to respect their culture. So if I have that flexibility and adaptability to adopt social and cross-cultural environment of other places, I will be a successful person. If I am not able to do so, I will never be a successful person. Productivity and accountability. As a teacher also, we need to be productive. When I'm talking about productive, it means that I should be able to do justice to my job. Okay, and I should be accountable. We cannot get rid by saying that so many students failed. Sir, I taught, but I don't know why do they fail. No, as a teacher, I have to be accountable. Okay, why have they failed or why have they not succeeded in their exams or assessments or projects or whatever it is? So, as a teacher, I am accountable. I need to know the reasons and find out the way our children are learning. Leadership and responsibility. This is another very, very life and career skill. I should have leadership quality. Okay, when I take initiative, I am self-directed, automatically I will be having leadership quality. And I shall become automatically responsible in my life. Ethical behavior is another very, very important. Whatever is ethical, we should do. Whatever is not ethical, we should always not do. Okay, some teachers, they believe in awarding very, very high marks than the child deserves. So this is not ethical behavior. Some teachers, they avoid proper teaching in class. They look for some kind of tuition classes or coaching classes. This is not ethical behavior of any individual. So for life and career skills, we need to have these skills amongst us. Now, 21st century content should be delivered in a 21st century context. Relevant context should be there. Vital, practical, emotional and social connections to skills and content. Bringing the word into the classroom. When I'm saying bringing the word into the classroom, it's very easy to do. You can have collaborative projects with children sitting in Uganda, children sitting in Nigeria, children sitting in US, UK, or you name it, you can always have such projects, joint collaborative projects with them. So what are you doing? You are bringing word into the classroom. You just need to connect with few schools and slowly you will find that you are able to connect with the world. Taking students out into the world. See, classroom is not the only place where the child learns. The whole world is a place, whole world is a classroom. We learn something or the other. Even in the school itself, I have seen children, they have never visited various parts of the school. See, you should start with your own school and ensure that children are knowing about the school and they are doing something great, learning something new. creating opportunities for students to interact with each other and adults in authentic learning situations. So as a teacher, we need to create the opportunities for students so that they interact with not only each other, but with others also for authentic learning situations. I'm giving you example. Take them to post office, take them to banks, take them to railway station, take them to the airport. How does it work? Okay, take them to some corporate office, some factory, some other thing, whichever you can. Okay, so everywhere children learn something new. Small children, take them for nature walk, and you can teach number of lessons outside the classroom. So, this is what is 21st century content, delivered in 21st century content. Now, talking about 21st century assessment. Using high quality assessments that measure students' performance for the elements of 21st century education is required to be done. See, the way we are assessing our children, or we had been assessing our children, is not appropriate. But new education policy suggests various measures. If we implement those measures correctly, I can assure you that children would be assessed better. There is a lot of hue and cry. Once the Ministry of Education declared that there won't be any class 10th or 12th board examination, children would be assessed internally, and CBSE has given a very good assessment tool, but still a lot of hue and cry is there. But if we are assessing our children regularly in the 21st century, for the 21st century education, then I don't see any issue in that. Unfortunately, we are not ready to accept that without annual examination also children can be assessed. There are various ways of doing it. Throughout the year, teacher has assessed the child. On the basis of that assessment, we can always declare the result. Now, thoughtful thoughts. What conditions do we control that can be altered to improve student achievement? As a teacher, what conditions do we control that can be altered to improve our students' achievement? Let us discuss what are those. Issues related to students' achievement are derived from 4 areas. What are these 4 areas? Curriculum, what we teach. Quality of instruction, how we teach. Effectiveness of school, where we teach. And characteristics of students, who we teach. If we can alter these, what we teach, how we teach, where we teach, and who we teach, definitely there would be vast change, and we shall be able to prepare our children for 21st century skills. What we teach, how we teach, where we teach, who we teach. So these are the 4 areas where we need to work upon. Look around. Things are different now. We must adapt and change. See, only change is the thing which is permanent. Rest, nothing is permanent. So we should be ready to change. Things every day we see around are different. So we should be ready. We should be ready to adapt and change. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you are right. So basically it's our thinking. If we are intending to achieve something, we will definitely achieve. And if we think we cannot achieve, we will never be able to. So basically what we need to do is we need to change our thinking. And our thinking has to be positive. Then only we can do some wonders in our life. And same should be imbibed in or among our students. That they should know what is required, how to think, what to think. Okay, they need to think positive so that they are doing great things. 21st century challenge you to institute 21st century skills for education in our country, state, districts, and so basically we need to start from our schools, then it will go to our districts, then it will go to our state, and then to our country. So don't think that overnight it can be done, but somewhere we need to start. Think positive that you can, definitely you will. Okay, so this is what is required to be done. We as teachers can make the difference for students. Why are 21st century skills important? Today's education faces irrelevance unless we bridge the gap between how students live and how students learn. See, we are learning in advanced methods. In the beginning, I gave you various examples. Now we are not using that telephone set where trunk call was required. Now we are, or this generation is using iPhone or Android phone. But if we are not changing our education system, our teaching methodologies, our learning methodologies, we will never be able to achieve. So we need to change ourselves the way life around us is changing. And this irrelevant gap is to be bridged by us. Why 21st century skills are important? Relationship to no child left behind. It has relationship to this. No child should be left behind. It is not necessary now that every child has to study mathematics, English, physics, chemistry as other child is studying. Not necessary. CBSE has never mandated it. Okay, except few restrictions of language. Rest everything child can choose. If a child is interested in painting and music, why not? Well, where is the need to study physics? Or if a child is intending to study economics with physics, why not? Let him study. This provision has been made by new education policy also. Emphasize students' achievement and requires assessment in core subjects. Skills are to be integrated in core subjects. See, the skills which we had been discussing in the past 40-45 minutes, these are not the skills which can be taught separately. These are the skills which are to be integrated in our core subjects. A list of core subjects I have already shared with you. And we as teachers need to do something in this direction. Requires that every student be technological literate by 8th standard. See, the child has to have knowledge of computer technology which he is going to use for years now. And after 8th, he will be upgrading that technology for himself. Because every now and then, some advancement would be there, so he would be upgrading himself. Like a mobile phone which you bought 4 years back, and today if you buy new, the new has different technology, more features, so you also upgrade yourself within no time. The child will also be able to upgrade himself, but that doesn't mean that let him not understand what the technology is. Because technology is going to be a boon for any child. Before COVID, we were not allowing children to bring cell phones in the classroom or laptops or other gadgets in the classroom. In majority of the schools it was there. But now our classrooms are in the mobile phone, in the laptop. So we need to come out of this situation. We need to leave those orthodox statements which we gave earlier, and we need to understand that without technology, without these gadgets, now teaching our children would be very, very difficult in coming days. The 21st century skills are the skills that are required by any individual for his or holistic development, so that he or she can contribute to the progress and development of his society, nation, and world as a whole. Empowering our students with these skills is definitely a challenging task. Let us discuss. How many of us remember all the marks that we scored in 5th, 7th, or 8th standard? I'm sure none of us remember that. Okay, and if I be very specific, how many marks did you score in 5th standard in mathematics? None of us would be able to. And forget about 5th, 7th, and 8th standard. Even if you talk about in board examination, I may be able to tell you the percentage, highest percentage which I got. But if you ask subject-wise percentage, I will not be able to. Nobody remembers that. And even nobody asks, okay, what, by which skills you are judged by other persons are various life skills. Okay, whatever life skills, how I communicate with others, how I respect others, how I deal the situation, how I solve the problem, how critically I think about something, that is what is important. So you can well imagine whatever we studied in those classes, we hardly use that. Some of the most successful persons were neither high scorers, nor they bothered to score high marks or high scores in their school. But still, they are extremely successful people in their life. But they do remember the incidents, experiences they had in school, society, market, with friends, in travel, etc. And all these places teaches us various skills, and with these skills we become better human beings. See, you just recall, you must be remembering certain travel in the train where you chat with people who were your co-passengers, and you still remember after years also. But you may not remember what you ate 7 days back. So these are the skills which are required by everyone, and believe me, whatever we do in our life, we learn something or the other in every situation, good or bad. This COVID has also taught us number of things. So it is the worst experience we had, okay, our generation had, but still we have learned number of things. How many of us were trained to take classes online? Hardly 1%, and maybe not even 1%. And now 100% of us are taking online classes. Have we ever thought of online training sessions? Never. And I don't remember that I must have done around 100 sessions with CBSE in the past 8-9 months. So these are the skills which are required. Meaning of 21st century. 21st